Tamor Achai Yehudit Bat Shmo Mones Vilea Rachel.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvorach. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol hamim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Isha zona v'chalala lo yikachu ve'isha gusha meisha lo yikachu ki kadosh hu le'elohav v'kidashto ki elechem elohecha hu makriv kadosh yihi elach ki kadosh ani adonai mekadishchem uvat ish kohen ki techel liznot et aviyahi mechalelet be'ish yisaref והכהן הגדול מאחיו אשר יצעק על ראשו שמן המשחה ומילא את ידו ללבוש את הבגדים את ראשו לא יפרע ובגדיו לא יפרום ועל כל נפשות מת לא יבוא לאביו ולאמו לא יטמא ומן המקדש לא יצא ולא יחלל למקדש אלוהיו כי נזר שמן משחת אלוהיו עליו אני אדוני.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Before we continue with the Torah reading, I'll make a Mishaberach for those who are ill in the community. Should you have the Hebrew name of somebody who is sick, I'm going to make a pause. Please say it at that time. Mishaberach Avotenu Avram Yitzchak v'Yaakov Moshe v'Aaron David Shlomo Yivarech v'Yirpet Acholihim. Ba'avur shnachnu mitpalim ba'avuram b'Yisrael zakar paruchu yimalei rachamim aleihem lachem v'avtam l'chayitzkam l'chayitam v'yashlach me'er v'ashtem me'shmayim hasha bagla zankari v'nomar amen. May He who bless our fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Moses and Aaron, David and Solomon, may He heal and bless all who are ill within our community. May the Holy One, praised be He, bless them, fill them with compassion to restore them with health, cure them and strengthen them. May this come speedily, swiftly, and soon. And let's all say, Amen. The Torah reading continues on page 514, verse 13. Vehu isha b'vtuleha yikach almana ugusha v'chalala zona et eila lo yikach ki im tula me'amav yikach isha v'lo yichalal zaro be'amav ki ani Adonai mekadsho. Fourth aliyah. Vaydaber Adonai el Moshe lemor, daber el Aaron lemor, ish mizaracha ledorotam, asher yihye bomum lo yikrav lakriv lechem Elohav, ki kol ish asher bomum lo yikrav, ish iver o piseach o charum o sarua, o ish asher yobo shever ragel o shever yad, o giben o dak o tevalul be'eno, o garav o yalafet o murach ashech, Kol ish asher bomu mizer Aaron hakohen lo yigash lakriv et ishe Adonai mumbo et lechem Elohav lo yigash lehakriv lechem Elohav mikodshe hakadashim mikadashim yochel ach el haparochet lo yavo ve'al hamizbeach lo yigash ki mumbo v'lo yichalel et mikdashai ki ani Adonai mekadsham. Vaydaber Moshe el Aharon ve'el banav ve'el kol b'nei Yisrael. The fifth aliyah is on page 515, beginning of chapter 22, verse 1. וידבר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל אהרון ואל בניו, וינזרו מקודשי בני ישראל, ולא יכלו את שם קודשי, אשר הם מקדישים לי אני אדוני, אמור עליהם, לדורותיכם, כל איש אשר יקרב מכל זרעכם, אל הקדשים אשר יקדישו בני ישראל לאדוני, וטומאתו עליו, ונכרתה הנפש ההיא מלפני אני אדוני, איש איש מזרע אהרון, והוא צרוע עוזיו בקודשים לא יאכל עד אשר יטהר, ונוגע בכל טמא נפש, או איש אשר תצא ממנו שכבת זרע, או איש אשר ייגע בכל שרץ אשר יטמא לו, או באדם אשר יטמא לו לכל טומאתו, נפש אשר תיגע בו וטמא עד הערב, ולא יאכל מן הקודשים, כי אם רחץ בשרו במים, ובא השמש וטהר, ואחר יאכל מן הקדשים, כי לחמו הוא. נבלה וטרפה לא יאכל לטעם הבא, אני אדוני. ושמרו את משמרתי, ולא יישאו עליו חטא, ומתו בו כי יחללוהו, אני אדוני מקדשם. The sixth aliyah is on page 516, verse 10. וכל זר לא יאכל קודש, תושב כהן, ושכיר לא יאכל קודש, וכהן, כי יקנה נפש קניין כספו, הוא יאכל בו, ויליד ביתו הם יאכלו בלחמו, ובת כהן כי תהיה לשר, היא בתרומת הקודשים לא תאכל. The seventh aliyah. ובת כהן כי תהיה אלמנה וגרושה וזרע אין לה, ושבה אל בית אביה כנעוריה, מנחם אביה תאכל, וכל זר לא יאכל בו. ואיש כי יאכל קודש בשגגה, ויאסף חמישיתו עליו, ונתן לכהן את הקודש, ולא יחללו את קודשי בני ישראל, את אשר ירימו לאדוני, ויסיעו אותם עוון אשמה באכלה מקודשיהם, כי אני אדוני מקדשם. תעמוד דורות בת שמור ופעל וחיי יהודית מפטיר.
Baruchu et Adonai Hamvorah. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol hamim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Umakei v'hema yishalmena, umakei adam yumat, mishpat echad yeh lahem, kager ka'ezra yeh, ki ani Adonai Elohechem, v'yidaber Moshe el b'nei Yisrael, v'yotziu et hamekalel, el michutz machane, v'yirgemu oto avin, Uvnei Yisrael asu kasher tziva Adonai et Moshe. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Please rise for lifting of the Sefer Torah. You may be seated. Just give me
The Haftorah for this morning is found on page 528. In a few moments, as soon as Jeff has finished putting the Torah aside, we'll invite Eve back up to the bima to recite her Haftorah in celebration of her Bat Mitzvah this morning. She has worked very hard for this very special day.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nevi'im tovim v'ratza v'divreihem hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'Torah u'v'Moshe avdo u'v'Yisrael hamo u'v'nviei hayamet v'tzedek. V'hakohanim halevi'im b'nei tzadok asher shamru et mishmeret mikdashi bitot b'nei Yisrael me'alai hema yikrevu elai l'shaiteni v'yamdu l'fanai le'akriv li chelev adam neum Adonai Elohim hema yavou el mikdashi v'hema yikrevu el shulchani l'sharteni v'shamru et mishmarti v'haya bevawam el sha'arei hechatzer hapnimit bigdei fishtim yilbashu v'lo ya'aleh aleihem tzemer b'sharatam b'sha'arei hechatzer hapnimit v'avaita pa'arei fishtim yihiu arasham u'michnesei fishtim yihiu al matnehem lo yachkeru ba'yaza ufseitam el hechatzer hachitzana el hechatzer hachitzana el ha'am yivshetu et bigdeihem asher hema mishartim bam v'hinichu otam v'lishchot hakodesh v'levshu begadim acherim v'lekadshu et ha'am b'vigdeihem v'rosham lo yagalechu ufera lo yeshalechu kasom yichsamu et rashehem v'yayin lo yishtu kol kohen bevawam el hechatzer hapnimit ve'almana u'grusha lo yikhu lahem lenashim ki im betulot mizera be'ei Yisrael v'halmana asher tiyeh almana mikohen yikahu v'tamiyaru bein kodesh lechol uvein tamei letahor yodium vayarid hema yamdu lemishpat v'mishpatai yishpetuhu v'torotai v'chukotai b'chol moadai yishmoru v'chaptotai yikadeshu v'almei adam lo yavol letama ki im leyav ule'em ulevin ulevat leach uleachot asher lo hayta leish yitamaru ve'acharei tahorato shivat yamim yisperu lo uveyom bo el hakodesh el hechatzer hapnimit l'sharei b'kodesh yakriv hatato v'chata lahem. V'chata hem lemachala ani nachalatam va'achuzah lo titnu lahem v'Yisrael ani achuzatam hamincha v'ha'atat v'ha'asham hema yachlum v'chol herem v'Yisrael lahem yiyeh v'reshit kol bikurei chol v'chol terumat kol mikol trumotechem lakohanim yiyeh v'reshit arisotechem titnu lakohen lechaniach beracha el betecha kol nevela utrafa min ha'af umin ha'behema lo yachlu hakohanim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam tzur kol ha'olamim tzadik bechol hadarot ha'el ha'ne'eman ha'omer ve'oseh hamdaber kayem shekol devarav emet v'tzedek ne'eman atahu Adonai Eloheinu v'ne'emanim devarecha v'davar echad midvarecha achor lo yashuv rekam ki el melech ne'eman rechaman atah Baruch atah Adonai
Baruch Hu Baruch Shemo
ha'el ha'ne'eman bechol devarav
Amen.
Rachem al Tzion ki hivit chayenu vela alu vat nefesh toshia bimhera ve'amenu Baruch atah Adonai
Baruch Hu Baruch Shemo
mesamei Tzion bevanecha
Amen.
samchenu Adonai Eloheinu Beliahu hanavi avdecha uvmalchut beit David meshihecha bimhera yavo vayagel libenu al kiso lo yeshav zar v'lo yinchalu od ahirim et kavodo ki veshem kodshecha nishbat alo shelo yichbed nero le'olam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai
Baruch Hu Baruch Shemo
Magen David
Amen.
Al HaTorah Ve'al Havodah Ve'al HaNevi'im Ve'al Yom HaShabbat Hazeh Shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu Likdusha Ve'limnucha Lechavad Ultifaret Al HaKol Adonai Eloheinu Anachnu Modim Lach Umbrachim Otach Yitbarach Shimcha Pafiol Chai Tamid Le'olam Va'ed Baruch atah Adonai
Baruch Hu Baruch Shemo
Mekadesh HaShabbat
Amen. Simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, mazel tov, simen tov, mazel tov, simen tov. Yehelanu, 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 ulechol Yisrael. Yehelanu, yehelanu, ulechol Yisrael. Yehelanu, yehelanu, ulechol Yisrael. Yehelanu, yehelanu, ulechol Yisrael. Mazel tov, Eve. Before you go away, Eve has a special Dvar Torah for us in honor of her special day.
In the Torah reading that I celebrate my Bat Mitzvah with, we read about the mitzvah of Shalosh Regalim. This is a mitzvah that requires the ancient Israelites to make a pilgrimage, known in Hebrew as Shalosh Regalim, to the holy city of Jerusalem. It was there that they would worship in the Beit HaMikdash, the temple. A pilgrimage is a religious journey from one place or thing to another. A pilgrim is somebody who makes this religious journey. The times when they would do this mitzvah were very specific. As I said, it was to be 3 times a year on the Jewish holidays of Pesach, Shavuot, and Sukkot, which, not surprisingly, each of the holidays are commemorations of the exodus from Egypt and the wandering of Jews through the desert. which is to say, as they walked, so we walked. While the temple no longer stands, and we can also worship anywhere we want, and not just in Jerusalem, the idea of journeys, of things that transform us, something close to my heart, because it is something we all experience, if not once, certainly many times in our lives. For me, in grade 5, I experienced a small pilgrimage when I switched schools. The transition from public to private school was a very big transformation. I had to use different transportation, wear different clothes, and adjust to brand new people. When I first wrote this, I didn't know that switching schools was going to be the smallest transition in my life. I had no idea school, time with friends, and activities I took for granted would disappear. To me, as I learned in my Bat Mitzvah portion, pilgrimage means a journey to start a new portion of your life, and so we are all now in this new transition together. In spite of the fact that there's a world pandemic right now, I'm lucky enough to be in synagogue with my family, able to have my Bat Mitzvah. I'm very thankful for the opportunities I have when I consider how some people are left hungry. We're all going through a huge pilgrimage right now, but we're all in it together.
We have all the we have all the appropriate slatherings and sprayings, and we're all ready to go. Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and Mazel Tov to Eve and to your family. And to your family here, everyone's, I know, excitedly watching over the miracle of that tiny camera, and trillions of electrons are streaming back and forth to bring this image to everybody. And I know that this moment, particularly the way that it's being celebrated, is not what you anticipated years ago, I suspect, when you booked it. But it's funny how things happen in life, because in moments when things start getting taken away from us, how even the remainder of the smallest things make us profoundly grateful. So a year or two ago, if someone had said to you, there would be a pandemic raging during Eve's Bat Mitzvah, and the sad reality is no one would be able to attend, you would have been heartbroken, we're canceling, we're not doing it, and all these things. And yet now that you're here, the presence of witnessing and seeing this is the greatest reward you could have imagined. And you're grateful for this, despite all the things that aren't here. And so there's an idea found at the very beginning of the Bat Mitzvah portion that will forever be connected to Eve, to your life. The idea is, and it's a very weird formulation in the Hebrew text, the likes of which we never see anywhere else in the Torah. And it goes like this. The very beginning of the Torah portion says to us, and God spoke to Moses, and Moses spoke to Aaron, and Aaron spoke to the elders, and then the elders spoke to the sons of Aaron, and this long kind of train of one person speaking to another, speaking to another, speaking to another. I mean, certainly it could have simply have said that God spoke to Moses, and Moses said to the children of Israel this, which is a formulation you've heard many times. And the heart of it, I think, touches upon that it illustrates what is so animating for Jews. The idea is that there is a link, a connection of things before us, of person to person, one person after another. Or more simply put, you and I wouldn't be here if our ancestors had not been people of enormous faith, not just identifying Jews, but Jews who had enormous faith, because the challenges that they faced in their life to simply be Jewish was beyond our recognition, thankfully. And so the presence of us here is an echo of things said and believed and loved by people who have come before. And Eve, your presence here is no less than that. And so I join you with your mother and father and your family and friends who are watching this in celebrating this with you, and looking forward to not only enjoying what we've seen here from you at this moment, but understanding the many beautiful things that will come. And I promise you, Eve, as people never forget their Bat Mitzvah moment, yours will be unforgettable. I promise. You'll tell your children and grandchildren every time you walk by the synagogue, you know, I had my bat mitzvah there, and it was during COVID. And they'll say to you, Mom, what was it like back then? And you'll tell them. So I wanted to share with you a few ideas because everything on the news today is COVID. You don't hear or see anything that isn't COVID. It's either economics or vaccines or antibodies or all these other things. And in the mixed and jumble of all things COVID to take grip of us, I think some things have been lost. And so I want to put COVID to the side. I want to bring some other things in front of us. What I want to bring in front of us is what I admit was something that I had completely drawn myself blind to. And that is a few weeks ago was Yom Ha'atzmaut, Israel Independence Day. In a few weeks from now, it'll be Yom Yerushalayim, which is Jerusalem Day, which celebrates the reunification of the city of Jerusalem in 1967 during the Six-Day War. And so what I wanted to talk about is this. Now, I had just come back from Israel a few weeks ago. I had to leave because of the pandemic, not because I was afraid to be in Israel. Actually, quite the opposite. The Israelis managed the threat of the pandemic with remarkable degree of agility and expertise. Now, the truth of the matter is nobody ever gets an A when it comes to managing a pandemic. It's impossible. But the Israelis actually managed the B+. And from the very beginnings when the shadow of what this was going to be was becoming alarmingly clear, Israel closed off its airports. And it began an ever-increasing series of closures around the city, so much so that where we rented our apartment, if you're familiar with Tel Aviv, it was on Bogrushav and Ben Yehuda. In short, it's like Beibur. And the closures had become so intense and so well accepted by the Israeli society that my wife and I were able to cross the street in the middle of the day and not look left or right. There were no cars. People patiently waited outside the food stores. You walked into the food stores, only 4 people were allowed in at any one time. They'd hand you a mask, spritz your hands, and then give you gloves. And everyone went through this. Now listen, they're Jews, people complained, yes. But everyone went through this with an incredible sense, and I was shocked at it, an incredible sense of obedience. And I liken this personally, that in Israel they're very good at managing emergencies because they have muscle memory for these things. They know what an emergency is because they're always living in one kind of emergency or another. They know how to follow rules when it matters. They know how to take orders when it matters. But what I want to talk, and this idea actually is spoken also in the Torah portion this morning. Because even your bat mitzvah portion, we hear about the calendar of the Jewish people. This morning we read about the institution of Passover and Sukkot and Shavuot. And the remarkable question that certainly comes to mind is that these laws, Moses spoke about these holidays when they were wandering in the desert for 40 years. They hadn't gotten into the land of Israel. The people who were wandering in the desert with Moses would never go into the land of Israel. They would die in that desert, as we know. And so why is it that Moses would speak of holidays that would be held in the land of Israel to a people who would never go? It would be their children, but it wouldn't be them. Why would he speak of this in the desert? So I want to speak about Israel, as I said, but not politics and not conflict. I want to speak about the idea of Israel. And the idea of Israel perhaps is best seen in this one small fact. A set of Hebrew words that are perhaps the most well known, not only by Jews, but by non-Jews, is not the Shema, although Jews know the Shema very well. Or at least it used to be that way. I would say to you that the most well-known Hebrew words, both by Jews and non-Jews, even if they don't can't speak the words themselves, they certainly recognize them as immediately as they're spoken, is the Hatikva. Jews and non-Jews throughout the world, as soon as they hear the chords of that song and hear Kol Od Balevav, people know what it is. Even the most distant Jews, they know. They may not know the Shema, much to the chagrin and pain of a rabbi, but the Hatikva they know. So how did the Hatikva become this remarkable anthem, an institution in Jewish life that is so well known by people throughout the entire world? I want to tell you about the Hatikva. It was written by a Polish Jew who was living in Romania. His name was Naftali Herz Imber. We don't know exactly when he wrote it. He was a poet, a Hebrew poet. 1877, 1881, we're not entirely sure. But Imber, interestingly, was a Hebrew poet long before there was a state of Israel, because he was part of an entire wave of people, roughly from 1860, who had this enormous revival of Hebrew culture. People like Bialik and Chernyakhovsky and Imber and others were all the vanguard, the leading edge of people reviving the Hebrew language. And he wrote exclusively in Hebrew poems. He wrote books and books of poems in Hebrew. This poem he titled Tikvatenu, our hope, Hatikva. We don't know entirely where he got the idea of the word from. Some people said it comes from the 37th chapter of the book of Ezekiel. If you're home, you can look it up. It's the story of the valley of the dry bones. Other people say that he was inspired by one of the very first successful Jewish settlements in the land of Israel in the late 1800s. What was the name of that settlement? Petach Tikva. Petach Tikva is famous, well, not only because it's famous. Petach Tikva is famous because David Ben-Gurion actually went to live and work there for about a year when he first landed in the state of Israel. He wrote, in all honesty, that he couldn't stand or bear waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning to pick oranges. And he decided there must be some other calling in his life. We're lucky he did. In any event, we don't know entirely sure where he got the inspiration for writing those words, but this much we do know. That the father of modern Hebrew, Eliezer ben Yehuda, hated Naftali Imber. Maybe he had a little bit of writer's jealousy to him. We know that Theodor Herzl, whose, his window is right over there, the third from the back, Theodor Herzl, the famous image of him. I'm sorry all of you can't see it. That famous image of Herzl was taken from Basel. It was a picture taken during the First Zionist Congress. He's looking over the city on a bridge. Herzl hated the poem. Hated it. People were already singing it back then and talking about it. He hated it. He hated it so much that in 1897, Herzl instituted a competition to replace it. He wanted to have a formal competition for a national anthem for the Zionist movement. Problem was, they were all horrible, and he burned every single one of them. But the real power of the Hatikva is seen in these two historical moments. In 1903, the British Empire offered the Zionists something called the Uganda Plan. The Uganda Plan was that they would allow all the Jews of Europe to transfer themselves to what was then Uganda, and it would become Palestine for the Jews. At the Zionist Congress in 1903, remarkably, a majority of the representatives of the Zionist movement voted to support it. Chaim Weizmann, also in the picture over there, Chaim Weizmann at the very, very top of the window. He has a goatee, if you see it. Chaim Weizmann famously said that this transfer, this temporary home of Jews to Uganda would be a nachshtetl. It would be a temporary dwelling. They told the representatives, don't worry. We're not going to stay there forever in Uganda. We'll get to Palestine. And then as they were finally about to ratify the acceptance of what was called the Uganda Plan, the 190 or so people who voted against it stood up. And what did they sing? The Hatikva. Od lo avda tikvatenu. We have not yet lost our hope. And the Uganda Plan died. A little bit further on in history, in 1945, when Bergen-Belsen was liberated by the Americans. There's a BBC clip. And after Shabbat, you should go home and you should look it up. BBC clip, Bergen-Belsen. The first Shabbat service was held. There were still corpses lying around. Most of them had been buried, but some of the corpses were still lying there. But an army chaplain organized a Shabbat service. And at the end of the service, the people did not sing Adon Olam. And they didn't sing Yigdal. They sang the Hatikva. Meaning that standing in a death camp, they had not yet lost their hope. So how is it possible that this poem, only 2 stanzas of the total 9 that he actually wrote, by the way, Imber, we know, was an alcoholic. He was itinerant, penniless, homeless. All of these things. How did this thing become the most well-known and passionate Hebrew, Jewish idea that has animated the past century and more? I think it's also the answer to the question that I began with. Why is it that Moses stood in the desert and told the people who would not be going into the land that they were going to die in that desert? But he tells them the story of holidays that would be observed in the land itself. And that because Moses was communicating to them hope and faith and the surety and the knowledge that these things will come to pass, that they may not get to the land, and he wouldn't get to the land, but his people, in fact, would. When you look at the story of anthems in the world, I did a little bit of research this week. The first national anthem ever established in the history of the world was in 1745. You know where it was? England. God Save the Queen. Not long after that, it became a trend, of course. We know that not long after the French Revolution, they had an anthem. And then in 1812, after the War of 1812, the Americans, after the attack on Fort Sumter, they had an anthem. And then Canada and all these other countries developed an anthem. And in each and every one of these anthems, what do they speak about? They speak about preserving royalty, or they speak about a land, or they speak about war, or in truth, they usually speak about all 3 of those. But there is only one anthem in the entire lexicon of the human race that speaks not of royalty and not of war. It speaks of soul and of heart. The Hatikva is the most Jewish expression because Imber wrote about the longing of the heart and Nefesh Yehudi Homia and the storing of the Jewish soul to go back to a land so that we can be the people that we were meant to be. Od lo ovda tikvatenu, he writes. We have not yet lost our hope because we will never lose our hope. The greatness of the anthem reflects the greatness of us, which is the greatness of this moment. It's why we're here, because the people before us never lost their hope. And we have great reason to believe there will never be a reason to. Shabbat Shalom and Mazel Tov.
We continue with Ashrei on page 352. Ashrei Yoshvei Beitecha